Hello, my name is Devin Hall, and I want to welcome everyone to the Richmond Community College Town Hall, virtual Town Hall. There are several people on the call today, close to 100. So one of the things that I'd like everyone to do is if you could mute your mic so that we don't have folks talking over each other. Those of you who are calling in from a cell phone, in order to mute and unmute your mic, you should do *6. So if at some point towards the end of the presentation, you would like to ask a question, *6 will unmute your mic. And when you're finished, *6 will mute the mic. The way we're going to do this, there are several folks at the college who will be speaking briefly about their areas of responsibility. And then towards the end of the structured presentations, we'll be available to take questions. So without any further ado, I would like our college president, Dr. Dale McInnes, to come on board and share a greeting with you. Dr. McInnes.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. I want to welcome everybody. Thank you for coming on board today. This is the first time we've tried this type of forum. We're all adapting to this new world we're living in, and I want to congratulate y'all for taking your time and spending some time this afternoon with us. We're going to briefly introduce ourselves. This is your time. We want to hear your questions, concerns. Every question is valuable and important. If you're on the computer and you can enter it in under the chat box, that's great. If you're on the phone, when we get through giving brief introductions, you can, as Dr. Hall said, fire away. We're going to try to give you some basic information and let you see who the folks are that you need to contact, whether it's virtual or in person. Our main message today is we're open for business. We've got a huge schedule of classes available this summer, most online, but some also are hands-on that we're hoping to be able to run when conditions allow. So whether you're new, whether you're returning, or whether you're coming back after a break, we're glad to have you, and we're going to make this a really smooth experience for you. So pay attention. Might be a good idea to have a notepad and a pen to jot some things down. And there's nothing wrong with calling us back after we're through if you have more detailed follow-up questions. So I hope everybody has a good time, and I want to thank all of our staff for putting this together. And thanks, Dr. Hall, for facilitating it for us. Y'all have a great time.
Okay, thank you, sir. Like I said, my name is Devin Hall. I'm the Dean of Applied Sciences and Engineering. And I'm going to quickly give you an overview of some of the programs that fall under my area of responsibility. So we have business and technology. And under business, we have accounting, business administration, information technology, healthcare management, and office administration. We also have under public services, criminal justice, and we also have early childhood education. Under our engineering area, we have computer engineering technology, mechanical engineering technology, electric utility substation relay technology, electronics engineering, mechatronics engineering technology, industrial mechanics technology. And under our trades area, we have air conditioning, computer integrated machining, welding technology, and electrical systems technology. And if you're interested in any of these programs, towards the end, I'll be glad to provide more detail. At this time, I'm going to ask Janet Sims, our Dean of Health Sciences and Human Services, to join the call.
everybody. My name is Janet Sims, and I am the Dean over Allied Health and Human Services. I'm excited to be able to tell you that we offer many healthcare curriculums that include both ADN, which is the RN nursing, and LPN nursing. We have medical assistant, dialysis, CNA 1 and 2, and now we're going to have emergency medical services. So if you have any questions about that, I'm the one. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sims. Now we're going to have Lee Ballinger, our Dean of University Transfer Programs, to join us.
I'm Lee Ballinger. I'm the Dean of Arts and Sciences here at Richmond Community College. If you're interested in transferring to a four-year university, I'm the person that you want to speak to.
Thank you, Mr. Ballinger. And now we're going to hear from John Kester, and he's the Dean of Adult Education. Mr. Kester.
John Kester, I'm the Dean of Adult Education. If you're interested in completing your high school diploma or your high school equivalency, or if English is not your primary language, we can help you with that also. We have classes in the community and on campus in both counties. So if you are interested in those things, please contact me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we're going to ask our registrar, Ms. Casey Holmes, if she would introduce herself.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. As he said, I'm the registrar, Casey Holmes, and I maintain our admissions files and student records. I can help with any questions you have regarding the admission steps and how to register. We keep our admissions process as simple as possible, and we do not require an application fee. The steps to apply are located on the admissions tab on our website with all the needed links. All North Carolina Public College and University students are required to complete the residency application, which is used to determine if the student will be charged tuition at the in-state or the out-of-state rate. This application is also included in our list of steps to apply, so it's easier to find. If you have any trouble completing these steps, we will be glad to walk you through them and help you get them done. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now we're going to turn to Mr. Chris Gardner. He's our Director of Counseling, and he's going to talk to us about the testing, counseling, and career planning. Mr. Gardner.
Hello, my name is Chris Gardner. I'm the Director of Counseling at Richmond Community College, and we have counselors that are working. We're working from home, unfortunately, but we're able to answer calls, and we could talk to students about personal problems, academic issues, and we help students register for classes. We also are responsible for testing services, which has been modified somewhat since the restrictions that we're under, and disability services also falls under the counseling department. So if you have any questions, if you're a current student and you want to register for classes, reach out to any of the counselors at the school. We'll be happy to help you get signed up for classes. If you're a new student, we'll walk you through the application process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gardner. So we've talked about admissions, and again, you do admissions online. We've talked about how the services offered by our counselors and testing. Now let's talk about how we pay for these classes.
That we have money available for you to go to school. We have people who are able and willing to assist you in filling out and helping you with your FAFSA application. Last year, 81% of our students attended on either scholarship or with Pell funding. So there is money available, and we want to help you go to school, and money should not be a barrier to you attending classes.
And I want to follow up on that and encourage everyone who is planning to apply, and again, you apply online, that as soon as you do the application, the next thing you need to do is apply for financial aid, federal financial aid, and also, and everyone, whether you think you qualify or not, everyone should apply, and also everyone should apply for scholarships, because we have money to give away, and we can't give it away if you don't apply for it. Now, at this time, we're going to ask Crystal Shepard, in the event that there are any veterans or relatives of veterans on the line, if Ms. Shepard would talk about the services that we offer for veterans.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Crystal Shepard. I'm the VA official at Richmond Community College.
I'm here to help veterans and their family members understand, apply for, and use their Montgomery GI Bill, the post 9/11 benefit, and the VA rehab benefits. All this information is also listed on our RichmondCC website under the Veteran Services page. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shepherd. Okay, so we've done the application, we've applied for financial aid, you're admitted. If you're a veteran, you know what the resources are. So now that you've started classes, there's support that we have available for you. And if Siobhan Lockhart would join the conversation and tell us about the Academic Success Center.
Hi, I'm Siobhan Lockhart from the Academic Success Center here at Richmond Community College. We are located in the Condor building on the main campus. However, the same services we offer here on campus, we do offer in Scotland County, and those services include peer tutoring, personal tutoring. We have open computer labs, test proctoring for all of the classes that you are taking at Richmond Community College. We have open study rooms if you need a quiet place to come in to study, an oral and written communication center, math lab, and special accommodations. Our job here at Richmond Community College is to make sure that you are academically successful outside of your classroom. If you're just arriving back out on campus, please come over to visit us and we'll be able to help you out. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lockhart. Now, if you're interested in taking classes online, and many of our students do, I'm going to ask Caitlin Arna to tell us about the kind of support that we provide for our online students. Ms. Arna.
Hello, everyone. My name is Caitlin Arner, and I'm the Director of Distance Learning here at Richmond Community College. Some call me the Moodle Girl. I am here to assist you with your Moodle and other online services, such as your student email. I can help you with resetting your password. Also, I'm always working with instructors to help them improve their online classrooms. I'm located in the Condor building with the library and the Academic Success Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Arner. Now, the goal at Richmond Community College is to provide you with a quality education, but at the end of the day, we want you to get a good paying job. So I'm going to ask Patsy Stanley, our Director of Career and Transfer Services, to tell us about what she can do to help you to get the job that you're looking for. Ms. Stanley.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. Our goal is to provide you with the information and skills necessary to make good career decisions and to develop a plan for how you want to get or how you get to where you want from where you are now. Additionally, we offer services for those seeking employment or help with college transfer. We also assist with career assessments, resume writing, interviews, and so much more. Our services are free and is not limited to students. We are also available to help those within the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Stanley. Okay, so now it's your turn to ask questions. Now, again, what we would like to do, because there are several people on the line, that if you would like to ask a question, unmute your mic, or if you're calling from the phone, do *6, and we'll try to do this as orderly as possible so we don't have folks talking over each other. So let's see who has the first question for us.
Hello, I have a question. My name is Casey Hamby.
Go ahead, Casey.
I have been seeing some information about a Finish for Your Future program floating around out there. Can somebody give me some more information about that?
Sure. John, would you like to take that?
Yes, thank you. The Finish for Your Future campaign is an effort by the college to increase the number of high school graduates in both counties. Currently, that number is about 20% of adults that do not have their high school equivalency degree, and we're hoping to improve that number. And our foundation has graciously decided to provide a $1,000 scholarship at Richmond Community College for students who graduate and complete their high school equivalency diploma. And classes are offered in both counties, online and face-to-face when we're having face-to-face classes.
Okay, thank you. Casey, does that answer your question?
That's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, who has the next question?
Um, I have a question about the fast food information because I've filled it out, but I can't really get my parents' signature because I don't really stay with them because of my reasons. But how can I go about that? Because that's the only thing that's stopping me from attending RCC.
Okay, Ms. Daniels, would you address that for us? Oh, Sherry?
Hi, thank you so much for the question. We would love to meet with you or talk with you individually to help you with that that issue that you're having. Our number is 910-410-1700. Just call us, and one of our financial aid representatives will help you with your individual needs. That is not an uncommon thing. And so we have staff members here who will help you with your unique situation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, our next question.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can. Go ahead, Lisa.
I have my associates in human services from RCC, and I'm thinking of going to get my master's, but I'm kind of just like overwhelmed and don't even know where to start.
Okay, do you know what area you'd like to get your master's in?
Either in psychology or the human services field, which I already have my associates.
Ms. Stanley, would you talk about some of the guidance that you might be able to provide in your area?
Yes. Lisa, we actually have several articulation agreements that will take, or well, what articulation agreements are is the universities that we work with will accept the classes that you currently have taken with Richmond Community College. So with your program, we do have about 5 agreements with several different colleges. Like you've got Queens, Gardner-Webb, and a few others. I'm trying to run off my memory here. But with those classes, you can transfer to that college to get your bachelor's degree in human services or a social area, and then move forward to get your master's degree. I'll be glad to help you with that and give you the information for those agreements and all. My number is 910-410-1830, or you can email me. And again, my name is Patsy Stanley. I'm the Director of Career and Transfer.
Thank you so much.
Okay, great. The next question.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, my son is a current student at RCC, and he is needing to enroll for the summer. He has forgotten his password, and when they ask the security question in order to change the password, he's also forgotten what he put there, so he's not able to change his password at all. So can he go and enroll again new, or does he need to find out how he can change his stuff in there so he can do his CFNC? What does he need to do?
Go ahead.
What does he need to do?
Okay, I'm sorry. Does he know who his advisor is?
Yes.
Okay.
And his advisor referred us over to watch this, to ask questions.
Okay. My recommendation, if he calls our main number, 910-410-1700, and ask to speak to tech support, they should be able to go through and reset his password for him.
Okay, that sounds great.
Ma'am, let me make a alteration to that. If you'll call 410-1701, that'll call tech support directly.
1701.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will certainly do that. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, and I'd again strongly encourage him, if he hasn't done the FAFSA, to go ahead and do that today. He doesn't need a password in order to do his FAFSA.
Okay, well, I will see if I can call this number and talk to them and see if they can walk him through this.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, our next question.
We have a question from the chat room. I believe this is directed to Miss Janet Sims. Is there an update on the nursing orientation, and will the pre-nursing classes in May and June still stand, or did that change as well?
I do have an update for you. We are going to do an information session online, and you will get an email with the information on how to do that. We are moving forward with trying to do a face-to-face pre-nursing, but if that's not possible, we will also put that online, and we'll let you know as we move forward and we see if the state's able to open us back up by May 1st. So we'll let you know. We will stay in contact with you. Just make sure that your information to how to contact you is current with Ms. Shaw.
Hey, thank you. Next question.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can, go ahead.
Okay, so my son is currently a high school student, and this is his senior year. And so we're not unsure about like his final transcript, but he has already applied to Richmond Community College and got accepted. And we were just wondering about, as you know, what should we do regarding enrolling in some courses for the fall, and can he qualify to enroll in summer courses?
Mr. Gardner, would you want to take that question for us, please?
I'm sure. Just let me ask a quick question. Has he graduated high school already? Is that correct?
No, he's a senior currently.
Okay.
So, you know, we don't really have to wait.
No, he can register now. He can apply now. He can do his application now, apply for financial aid, and we can get him signed up for classes starting in fall. Now, for summer, it depends on when the class starts. Students have to take summer classes. They couldn't start college classes until they graduate high school unless they're doing like the dual enrollment for college courses. But I think the best way to answer it is for you to contact me directly. My phone number, if you got a pen, is 910-410-1731, and I'll be glad to walk you guys through the process.
And what's your name again?
My name's Chris. My last name's Gardner.
All right,
Devin,
thank you.
If I may interject at this point, some of our listeners and participants may not know about our RichmondCC guarantee. The students who have enrolled in college classes while they're in high school and taken 2 successful classes and maintain a 3.0 unweighted GPA may qualify to have their first 2 years of tuition and fees free at Richmond Community College. So that caller about her son, if that's something that pertains to them, please call our student services and Mr. Gardner immediately so that we can see if he's one of those participants.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, our next question.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead.
I have a question. I want to be a nurse, and I'd like to know how to start. I've never been to college, and how do I start to apply for nursing program?
Okay, thank you. Ms. Sims, would you like to take that for us, please?
Yes. The very first thing you need to do is apply to the college and meet with one of our counselors, and they will go over any formal classes that you have, and they can lay out the guidelines for what classes you need to take to come into nursing before you can fill out your application. Our application deadline for the fall is always the January 31st previously. You do have to be on the CNA1 registry with the state of North Carolina at the Board of Nursing. So we need to get that class in place either in the fall or the spring if you plan to come in next fall. Did that answer your question?
What kind of test do I take?
You have to take a TEAS test, and you must score a 58 on it, which doesn't mean a lot to you. You will look at those test scores to make sure that you have the math ability and science ability as well as reading to be successful in the nursing program. And we can schedule that when you meet with our counselor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you both. All right, our next question.
I have a question. When should I start my registering for fall classes?
Now, I'm assuming you've already applied to the college.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know who your advisor is?
No. Wait, I haven't done like any of that. Like I'm a senior at Richmond and I haven't done any of that or graduated yet either.
Okay, so but you did say you have applied. Is that correct?
I haven't done that yet.
Okay, well that's the first thing you need to do. So
Yes, sir.
did you do any classes, any RCC classes while you were in high school?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. What you need to do is go to our website, and on our website there's a link where you can apply to the college. So I would complete the online application. As soon as you do that, I would also apply for federal financial aid, and there's a link from our website to FAFSA for federal financial aid. I would also apply for scholarships. So there's another link that you can go to that will allow you to apply for scholarships. Now, what will happen is once we receive your application electronically, you will get a letter from our registrar's office. And in that letter would include the name of an advisor and your student ID number. And at that point, there'll be a telephone number for the advisor. You contact that advisor, and that person will walk you through the steps that you'll need to take in order to register for classes. And if anyone wants to add anything, maybe Mr. Gardner or Ms. Holmes, if I missed a step.
No, sir, I think you covered everything. We'll reach out to her once she submits her application so we can follow up with her in case she needs any more help.
Right. So the most important thing is to do the application. I do that today if at all possible, and also to do the financial aid application.
All right, I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
We had a question from the chat about transcripts. If you have a question about transcripts, Casey Holmes has put an email address to send an email about. It's called admissions@richmondcc.edu. So that's admissions@richmondcc.edu if you have a question about transcripts.
Okay, thank you. Other questions?
Is this working?
Yes, it is. We can hear you. Go ahead, Madison.
All right. I'm sorry. I have a question about the application process online. I applied twice to RCC, but I've had troubles on how to get the RCC so I could turn in a transcript. Is it okay if I sent like a relative or someone that knows me to turn in the transcript for me?
I'll have Casey Holmes address that question. Ms. Holmes?
Yes, ma'am, that is typically fine, but with the restrictions on campus right now, I'm not sure if they're allowing the general public. Dr. Hall, are you aware if they're allowing people to come to campus?
I know there is someone in student services, but also transcripts typically can be submitted electronically. Are we talking about a high school transcript?
Yeah, it's not the official one. It's like the one I could get like now. It's not completed yet since I haven't finished my last year.
Okay, so you're still in high school.
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Okay, so probably, and Mrs. Holmes, tell me if I'm correct here, you probably want to wait until you go ahead and apply to the college, and we can actually start classes. We can get you to start classes. But once you've officially completed high school, then you can go online. I think it's FM. Ms. Holmes, I'm needing help here. What's that website that the high school kids go to get their transcript sent to us?
They can actually do it straight through CFNC.
CFNC, that's it, right. So you go to CFNC and you can have your transcript electronically sent to the high school. Now, we will allow you to start classes for one semester if we don't get that high school transcript in time. But again, as soon as you officially graduate, have a transcript sent, but that does not prevent you from starting classes in the fall. So go ahead and apply, do the financial aid, apply for the scholarships, register for classes, and we'll just wait for the transcript to come in. Did I get that all correct, Mrs. Holmes?
Yes, sir. And Madison, if you have follow-up questions, you can certainly contact me directly. I can give you my number. It's 910-410-1721, or you can use that email at admissions@richmondcc.edu.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Dr. Hall, we had an emailed question to me about the lineman program and when is it going to start and what are the criteria?
Okay, the lineman program will start on August 17th. There's an application that you'll need to complete, and if the person who had the question, if they could call Alicia Butler, and the main number at the college again is 910-410-1700. Ask for Alicia Butler, or they could call Alicia directly at 410-1706. She'll make arrangement for the person to come in to the campus, complete an application, and she'll walk you through the process to actually start that August 17th lineman class. And by the way, that's I believe that August 17th class is full, but Ms. Butler would know for sure. And if that one is full, we'll have another one starting in January. So it's really important that the individual or anyone interested in the lineman program start that process as soon as possible because it's a very competitive program.
Hi, we also had a question on the chat box about who do I speak with directly about my FAFSA information. That would be Andrea Daniels. So I'm going to put her information in the chat box. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to get logged in today, but I'm going to put her immediate contact information, and I also put Alicia Butler's contact information in the chat box.
Great, thank you. Other questions? While we're waiting for folks to ask another question, but Teresa Mahan, would you want to talk about, real quickly about the services offered through the OWCC, please?
My name is Teresa Mahan. I am Siobhan Lockhart's partner at the Academic Success Center. I oversee the programs which include the Oral and Written Communication Center, which provides writing, review, and tutoring services to students all the way from draft to final copy. And I also coordinate the Upswing online tutoring program, which allows students, especially our online students, to access live tutoring in any subject offered at RCC.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
My name's Wiley. So I I heard someone mention something about having to take a test to get into a program. Is there a test that we have to take, like a placement test to get into RCC? And if so, where do we take that test?
Okay, very good question. Thank you for asking it. Mr. Gardner, would you address that question for us, please?
Yes. So the majority of students don't take a placement test anymore. We use high school grade point average for placement. So if a student has a GPA over 2.8, they can take any classes with no prerequisites or no developmental classes. If it's under 2.8, they may have to take a co-requisite class or a developmental class. And it depends on their grade point average. And we've extended that to all students during this time while we're unable to go to the campus. So even if a student has a GED, we're able to calculate a GED GPA. And we're using that for the time being until the school opens up. And once we return to campus, we will resume testing as normal. But as I said earlier, the majority of students don't take a placement test anymore. Right now, the only people that would take a placement test would be people who graduated more than 10 years ago from high school, or if they had adult high school or GED. But as of right now, we're not testing anybody. We're using their grade point average for placement. I hope that answers your question.
It does. I have a follow-up question too, because I live in South Carolina, and about that lineman program. Is there out-of-state tuition for people like me that live in South Carolina?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. The simple answer to your question is no. For the lineman program and other non-credit programs, there is no special out-of-state fee. So folks from South Carolina or any other state, if it's a non-credit program or a non-credit class, they pay the exact same fee as someone who lives within the state of North Carolina. For credit classes, there is an additional or a slightly higher fee for those folks who live outside the state of North Carolina.
How do I know if it's a credit course or not credit program? Or what did you say again about a credit and not credit?
Okay, that's a good question. I would say the first step is if you talk to one of our counselors about whatever program you're interested in, that they would be able to help you determine what's a best fit for you, whether it be a full credit or a non-credit. So the first step I would do is contact the college and ask to speak to a counselor and describe to them what it is that you're interested in doing, and they would be able to help you determine what program best fits your desires.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We've had several questions come in on the chat box. One of the first questions is if they have been a student at Richmond Community College before, do they need to reapply?
And I'm going to have Mr. Gardner address that question.
Yes, most of the time you have to reapply. If you have not attended for one semester, you have to do a new application for the school.
And the application process is not difficult. Again, the application is online, so it's just a matter of doing the online application, and there's also a residency verification, again, online that they need to do.
Okay, another question coming in was regarding summer classes, wanting to know if it's possible to start summer classes.
Yes, it is possible. And again, assuming that the person applies to the college as soon as possible, also applies for financial aid as soon as possible. Summer classes are scheduled to start on May 18th, and typically, if they start doing the application process now, we will be able to get them registered for classes for summer.
The other question coming in was when it comes to transfer classes and the classes you have to take before you transfer to another university, who do I speak to about that for proper details?
I'm going to ask Dean Bellinger to address that question for us.
If the student wants to call me directly at 410-1863, I would be glad to work with them on any questions they have about transferring to a university. I think it's best for us to speak one-on-one because so many of these issues are individual issues.
The other question that came in was about Flex 4, which I believe is our new program with our Associate in Arts program to offer a full academic schedule through evening classes. Mr. Ballinger, can you tell us more about that?
Yes, the Flex 4 classes were created for students who do not have experience in taking online classes, but also have trouble getting to campus. And so what we've done is we've designed a set of classes for students to take. You'll take 2 classes in 8 weeks, and those 2 classes will meet 1 night a week for 4 weeks. So if you can give us 1 night a week for a month, when you're actually here on campus, we're going to train you how to take the class online. So you'll get to meet your instructor face to face, and you'll get one-on-one training on how to maneuver online classes. So this has really been set up to assist those people who don't have experience with taking online, but also have trouble physically coming to campus. And we're very excited about rolling this out for the first time this fall. And if you can give us 4 nights a week for 1 month, you can complete 2 classes. And then in the following 8 weeks, you'll start 2 more classes, and you can continue. And we've set this up so that you can go all the way through an Associate in Arts degree and complete it online, except for the first 4 weeks where you will attend 1 night a week.
Thank you. We have a couple of other questions coming in the chat box. The first one is, how do I go about being able to access my classes online? Do I need to use my own personal laptop or use Richmond Community College laptop? Caitlin Arner, I saw that she put in a response, but could you let everybody know what your response was?
Yes, so you can use your own personal computer for your online classes. If you do not have a personal computer, you can come to campus and use one of our computer labs.
Thank you. Another question coming in the chat box was, I was also wondering if it's possible that I could get my associates in 1 year and graduate in 2021 and transfer to a university.
Answer that, please.
There again, the best thing for that student to do is to call me directly. So if you will give that student my phone number, 410-1863. It could be possible if the student has prior credit. So without looking at everything that's going on with that student, what they've taken before, but if they're thinking they're going to start and complete it in 1 year, I can't see that happening. But there again, a lot of these transfer issues need to be addressed one-on-one. So I'd be glad to talk to them anytime.
Great. I'm going to do a follow-up question with that related to transfer about the co-admissions programs that we have going on and agreements that we've made with other universities. If someone could talk more about that.
Probably Patsy Stanley. Patsy on?
Yes. We also have several co-admission agreements with different colleges. Just off the top of my head, we have Fayetteville State University, which is a co-admission where your entire 4-year degree and associate degree will not be no more than $10,000. Of course, the stipulations with that is you're limited to roughly 11 different degrees. We also have a co-admission program with ECU. That's pretty much with any degree that they have. When you take part in these co-admissions, you are a student of Richmond Community College and that university. Along with the admissions, they offer benefits at the other college, whereas you'll have your own advisor. You'll also have student benefits to their libraries, going to games, and different things like that. Another one that we do have is, you guys can help me out. We've got the Brave Step. We've got UNC Wimbledon has the Pathway to Excellence. UNC Greensboro has the Spartan Passage. There's several of them. If you go to our website, on our main website, and click on Student Services and then Career Transfer, you should be able to see all the co-admissions that we have. As far as articulation agreements, we have lots of articulation agreements with different colleges, and it all depends on what program you're in and what your goal is or career of where you want to go. So just as Dean Ballinger mentioned, the best thing to do is for us to talk to you personally one-on-one, because it all depends on what you already have, what your goals are, and where you want to go.
Thank you. We've had several more questions come in on the chat box. One is there a university to transfer to after graduating the nursing program to work toward a BSN?
Yes, we are really excited because in North Carolina, the nursing community has made it very accessible to getting your BSN. We have a program with UNCP called the Ribbon Program that as students come in, they can apply to be in both schools. You finish a 4-year degree in 4 years, but while working on both of our campuses. We have programs with private schools, Gardner Webb, but all of the University of North Carolina systems that offer a BSN offer it completely online for our nurses. Any other questions?
Another question that came in was, what programs are part of the FSU co-admissions program? And Patsy, I've pulled that up on my computer about the FSU. So I've also put in the chat box the link to the co-admissions through the website. It's richmondcc.edu/co-admissions. But the curriculums are accounting, birth through kindergarten, business administration, criminal justice, fire and emergency administration, intelligence services, nursing, RN to BSN, professional studies, psychology, and sociology are the 10 programs available through Fayetteville State.
Okay, is there anyone else on the line who has a question they'd like to ask at this point?
I heard about working scholarship. And what is working scholarship?
This is Andrea Daniels, the Director of Financial Aid. The Working Student Scholarship was created to help those students and individuals that do not qualify for traditional financial aid. So the Working Scholarship was then created to kind of fill the gap for those students and their families. The Working Scholarship, what it is a student, if they work or if the parent work, they will take that application to their employer. Their employer will then fill out the employment certification part of the application. The student will, of course, fill out the student portion of the application. And then when they return it back to the financial aid office, that application has to have a recent pay advice from either the student or the parent. If a student is enrolled for at least 12 credit hours or more, which is full-time enrollment, then they can receive an award of $500. If they are enrolled as a 3/4 time enrolled student, meaning taking 9 to 11 credit hours, they can receive $350. And if they are a half-time enrolled student, taking 6 to 8 credit hours, then they can receive $250 from this particular fund.
Thank you.
So the bottom line is money should never be an excuse for not taking classes at RCC, because if you qualify for financial aid, you'll get financial aid, you'll get scholarships. If you're working, we have a way to offset your tuition. So never let money be an excuse for not taking classes at Richmond Community College.
Thank you. I've put the link to the application for the scholarship on the chat box, but it's richmondcc.edu/scholarships. And Andrea has just put a notice in there that we offer more than 100 scholarships with just one application, in addition to the working student scholarship. So we only have 2 applications for scholarships here. One gives you access to over 100 scholarships, and the other one is for that working student scholarship she just discussed.
And also, I'd like to add that we also participate in the Golden Leaf scholarship. It is for individuals who live in tobacco-dependent areas, which would be the service area in which we serve, which is Scotland and Richmond counties and Anson County. The maximum award for that one for curriculum is $750. That particular scholarship also helps students that are interested in taking Con Ed type classes, and for a Con Ed award, they can receive up to $250 from Golden Leaf if they want to come and take some continuing education classes with us.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions?
Dr. Hall, we had another question come in about scholarships. The participant wants to know if financial aid awards for scholarships and other financial aid, has it already been awarded for fall 2020, or can it be seen online if they have already applied?
So scholarships for the upcoming year, for the 2020-21 year, we have not met yet to start to do the review for scholarships, and that normally doesn't take place until around June. In the May, around 1st of June is when we'll start reviewing scholarships for the upcoming year. As far as the traditional financial aid Pell awards, we have been pulling in records and making awards. So students should be receiving that information, and they should be able to view it out on self-service.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. I have another question. Is there going to be any like federal relief money available to students who may be facing particular challenges right now because of COVID-19, like someone who may lost a job or a portion of their income?
I'm going to ask Ms. Daniels to address that.
There has been money appropriated to help students with all that's going on with the COVID-19 pandemic. Actually, I had a conference call about that this morning. As part of the CARES Act, there has been money allocated to help students that have been affected by this pandemic. So just keep looking out on the website, and hopefully we can get some information out about that here shortly.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, this is Tony. I have a question. If I took some classes a couple of years ago at a different school and I didn't really do that well, do I have to give you guys my transcripts?
I'm going to ask our registrar, Ms. Holmes, to address that question.
Hey, Tony, we don't require you send us college or university transcripts if you do not want transfer credit as far as admissions. Now, if you plan on applying for financial aid, they have different rules. Ms. Daniels, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, ideally, we would like to have your college transcripts from any other institutions, because what we don't want to do is pay for classes that you've already been given credit for. Really, the only transcript that we have to have in order to disperse money is high school transcripts. But as far as college transcript, we would like to have it in so that we're not awarding money for classes that you've already taken and received credits for, but it's not a requirement, no.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any other questions?
Hi, we had another chat box question come in. The question is, how many credits would you need in order to graduate?
It depends on your program. Each program, and if you go to our website, on the top bar, there's a link that says academics, and under academics, it has programs. And within each program, you can look and see what the requirements are for each program. Now, again, we have certificates, we have diplomas, and we have degrees. As a general rule, certificates can be completed in 1 or 2 semesters, and it's usually about 16 credits or so. Diplomas, as a general rule, can be completed in a year, and usually it's about 36 to 40 credit hours. And associate degrees, as a general rule, take 2 years, and it's usually somewhere between a minimum of 60 and a maximum for a few programs of about 76 credit hours. Ms. Casey Holmes, did you want to add anything to that?
No, sir, I think you covered it. I was going to say anywhere from 60 to 75.
Okay, it seems like most folks prefer to ask the questions on the chat box than to come on live. If there are no additional questions, we'll wrap this up. One of the things I want to make sure that everyone understands is that Richmond Community College is open for business. If you haven't already applied, do so right away. It can be done online, and we strongly encourage you to go ahead and do the application. We strongly encourage you to go ahead and apply for federal financial aid, whether you think you qualify or not. Everyone should apply for federal financial aid. Everyone should apply for scholarships. And our goal at Richmond Community College is to provide you with a quality education that will allow you to either transfer to a 4-year institution of your choice or to get a good paying job. So we realize that you have options in terms of where you want to go to school, but please give Richmond Community College a serious look, because we're here to help you. And again, our number is 910-410-1700. And if our president is on the line still.
Dr. Hall, I'm sorry to interrupt. We did have one more question. Just to clarify the out-of-state tuition, I think there was some confusion between our continuing education or workforce class tuition for out-of-state and our curriculum classes.
I'll say that for our continuing education classes, there is no difference in the tuition. For our curriculum classes, there is a difference in the tuition. The question earlier was, how do they know which one is continuing ed and which is curriculum? And unless somebody has a better idea, I think the best part would be to speak to a counselor to help make a decision on that. Ms. Daniels, do you want to address anything related to tuition and financial aid?
So as a out-of-state student, if a student applies for financial aid and they are eligible for financial aid, but they are considered to be an out-of-state student, there will be some out-of-pocket expenses that they will incur, because the amount of financial aid that they could possibly receive will not be enough to cover all of their tuition and to assist them with buying books, because of course tuition for out-of-state students is almost 3 times the amount of what it is for an in-state student. But with that being said, there's still a way that we can still assist and help, maybe not cover everything that they have to pay out of pocket, but there's a way to be able to assist them to help kind of fill that gap or bridge that gap where the out-of-pocket expense is not so great. But in-state tuition is like $76 per credit hour. I think out-of-state tuition is like three something per
It's
credit hour.
$268.
268. Okay, thanks, Casey. So 268 versus 76. So as an out-of-state student will never have enough traditional financial aid to cover all of their expenses because their tuition is always going to be more than their aid amount.
But I'd also like to add that, particularly for out-of-state students who are coming from South Carolina, there have been some analysis that have been done that show that in some instances, because a college in in South Carolina might require more credit hours than the same or similar program at Richmond Community College, even though the tuition is higher, it can work out at the end of the day where it basically breaks even whether they choose to come to RCC. And we do have several students and see if if we can be competitive to the South Carolina school. Does anybody want to add anything else at this point?
Another question came in on the chat box. How does the process work for applying and registering for classes if I'm a veteran?
Hey, this is Crystal Shepard. The process on that kind of depends on if you've used VA benefits before or not. If you have not, excuse me, the first thing is you need to go to the va.gov website and do the VA application for your benefits, because that takes about 30 to 45 days for the VA to process your application and then send you in a letter of eligibility. But while you're doing that, waiting to get that letter, I always recommend you go ahead and be doing the RCC application and the admissions process as well while you wait.
Hi, thank you. I want to thank everybody for participating, our faculty and staff, and also the community members who are on the line. If this was something that interests you, we are considering doing more specialized live events, maybe one directed just for healthcare or one directed for co-admissions. So if that's something you're interested in, everyone received an email from me, and we'll be doing a follow-up, and a recorded message. A recording of this event will also be sent to all the participants. And so if you have any other interest, just give me an email or a call, and I will be more than happy to arrange other community events. Thank you.